All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 156. Today on the show, our first case of domestic cannibalism is here in California, a huge step in the name of diversity. Then, this race-baiting plane disruptor gets dragged out. We're going to tell you why this is a microcosm of America today. Then, Planet Fitness doubles down on their trans agenda, so we're going to give them and a few other gyms a twink audit. And last but not least, in Cringe of the Week, crop top guys, birth control girls, and do we really need men? We're going to tell you all this and more. It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 156, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, are you like me? Are you constantly called a conspiracy theorist by your friends and family, but you're eventually proven right? Well, let me tell you about the next thing that you should have on your radar, and that's geo-tracking and harmful radiation exposure from our cell phones. But lucky for us, today's sponsor, Silent, has us covered. Guys, we saw the government use geofencing to track the phones of patriots on January 6th, just so they could kick their doors in and have them arrested with no evidence or wrongdoing. We also know that our government and phone companies have hidden the damaging effects of radiation caused by our cell phones. That's why you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself from these harmful situations and countless others by going silent. Silent is a light, portable Faraday pouch that makes you untrackable and your data unstealable, all while blocking the harmful radiation that comes from our cell phones. Make sure your data never ends up in the wrong hands and protect yourself today by going silent. Go to slnt.com/Fleccas for 15% off site-wide, plus free shipping on qualified orders. Guys, as a public figure who pushes back against the bad guys quite often, I am very happy that Silent exists. This is a great asset and tool that we all need, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a lot more popular in the years to come. So be ahead of the curve, be ahead of the wave that's coming, and get your Faraday privacy pouch today. Anyone who sends me a screenshot showing me they ordered will get a follow back on the social media of their choice. Thank you to Silent for sponsoring. Go check them out. slnt.com/Fleccas is the website. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Silent for sponsoring.
Thank you, Silent.
It's very important to keep your phones and technology secure.
Unzappable.
Exactly, especially with how things are going. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey, what was that? Also, first domestic case of cannibalism. Like, didn't Jeffrey Dahmer eat people? This is not, in the intro, that was not really correct.
Oh, yeah. I just live in the moment, man. I'm just living in the moment. I just tried to one for one it. The first video.
Yeah, the first, scene of a crash coming and then, opportunistic cannibalism.
Yeah.
I think that might be the first opportunistic cannibalism we've seen.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to it. Opportunistic cannibalism. We have a lot to get to. We have 4 pages of housekeeping, a great cringe, great urban, one of my favorite scripts we ever put together.
Don't put too much pressure on us.
And we're feeling good. We're going to have maybe the best episode yet. Don't put too much pressure and immediately apply the most possible pressure.
Out of 156 episodes, this one's the best.
This will be number 1. Well, first things first, we have a Planet Fitness update. You guys remember on our last episode, there was the pervert in the ladies'
The pervert.
The pervert.
Yeah, if you say it in a French accent, you can kind of call anybody that.
Yeah, le homme est un pervers.
Exactly.
See, I took a little French.
Yeah, gotta see.
So they doubled down. Planet Fitness got some flack. They got some kickback. Mm-hmm. People started canceling memberships. The stock price started falling a little bit.
The typical signs.
Typical signs of people aren't happy with what you're up to. And instead of saying, hey, let's just make 99.99% of members happy and kind of get rid of the weird 0.01%.
Yep.
They doubled down in the other direction and gave the weird 0.01% a personal bodyguard.
Planet Fitness assigns staffer to assist transgender client in women's locker room. If you are uncomfortable, you can use a stall. And this picture that we may have shown last episode, but this picture was taken 2 days after the first one where they caught him shaving. He's got his nice skirt, his little purple Birkenstocks. He's got a nice little outfit on in the ladies' locker room.
And then there was another guy in the ladies' locker room, too. This guy Looks like an RRB doppel.
Well,
I think we don't do doppels anymore.
if you really squint side profile wise, I think.
In the hoodie and shorts too.
Yeah.
The same exact outfit.
Yeah, so this was another Planet Fitness women's locker room, and this guy's not even fucking trying. That's the point. That's the main issue I have.
Throw in a little mascara.
Come on, work a little harder. If you're gonna play the game, you gotta play it. You can't just show up and start shaving your beard in the women's locker room, you know?
That's such a good point. And I was wondering about this. Doesn't Planet Fitness is a publicly traded stock?
Yeah.
Doesn't Planet Fitness as a publicly traded stock owe the shareholders the,
Yeah, it's called a fiduciary responsibility, right? Like they
there's
have
something there where you owe the shareholders, like, you're going to make the best decision to increase profits.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
And then, like, wouldn't you be able to say, hey, we saw what happened with Bud Light when they did pro-trans stuff. We're obviously going to avoid that because that would blow the company up, right?
that
Like,
would be negligent.
yeah.
You know?
Especially after that happened, everyone saw it. So you'd think a publicly traded company would really avoid the trans stuff because they have a duty to their shareholders. Not the case here. Which is, really quick while I have everyone. If you have a Planet Fitness membership and you cancel it and you send me a screenshot, I'll send you a free Bonus Land membership for the whole year.
Wow, a whole year.
Yeah.
A lot of people, Planet Fitness is pretty cheap. Someone could buy it and then cancel it and then show you that and get it and absolutely snake you. So
It'd
maybe
be like the same amount of money. So
No,
thanks. If you really want to pull one over and take advantage of me and my goodwill, feel free.
some might.
This is happening at other gyms too.
LA Fitness says they posted a sign that says transgender individuals may use the locker room associated with the gender with which they identify. Pretty verbose, really wordy there.
Yeah,
To
so
get the point across that a man can come in the ladies' locker room.
Watch out, ladies. There's going to be dudes in here. So we have to do a little bit of a twink audit. Planet Fitness, out. LA Fitness, out. Based on that side. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I think it's time for people to join local gyms who are ran by guys who used to be a high school wrestling coach.
Competent men who kind of don't take shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't take shit. They go for runs in a plastic bag shirt so they can sweat more, and there's no corporate marketing anywhere.
Old school sweatpants, too, are things to look for. Hard metal weights that are kind of almost rusty around the edges.
Yeah. Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
That's the gym to join because everything else is going to become these weird twink things. And then
you're already avoiding, every gym, you're already avoiding the tripod girls with the thong up their ass. You're avoiding people filming themselves squatting heavy and all that. And
now we got transgenders.
I know. So
hunting people down.
Gyms, you could not have predicted this. In 2001, you could not have predicted this wave.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have YMCA too.
Yeah.
YMCA is kind of in between a corporate gym and an old school gym.
Like a public utility almost, basically.
Yeah.
It's transformed to at this point.
Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, we need you to hold the line.
Yeah, please.
It's important now more than ever. If we lose the YMCA, we may lose all gyms. So keep that in mind. And there's also something more to be said here. We have this overarching theme in the last 3 years of doing the show, of every single episode, where common sense is obviously thrown out the window. In this gym situation, if it was 1990 something and a girl was in the gym and she said, hey, there's a guy in the bathroom, the guy who works at the gym, who's probably a big, capable man, would go, hey, you got to use the other bathroom. You're making all the girls uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that would be it. It would be common sense, right?
Yeah.
But because these companies and corporations are bound by policy, the most capable man in the gym who would have stood up for the women and helped them are actually the ones enforcing the problematic rules.
They've flipped it, yeah.
And that's the same with police officers who let criminals out. It's the same with Border Patrol who lets illegals in. It's Border Patrol, that's our number one defense against people coming here illegally. But now that they're bound by policy, Border Patrol is the number one facilitator of people entering illegally.
Yeah, they're doing asylum paperwork. They're not doing their job. And then to be fair, police still, we've always made the joke in the past about police, a guy it's a car chase, and then it's a sprint, and then you're going through a briar patch or something really hard, and then you arrest the criminal, and then you finally catch him, only for the DA to go, all right, let him go. Yeah. So to be fair, the cops do still have to chase down the criminals. They just aren't held that much.
Yeah, but there is something there where this bound by policy is reversing our frontline responders and making them frontline opposite of responders, enforcers, enablers.
Frontline purveyors.
Yeah, so they're the frontline purveyors now. They're the number one enablers of the problems instead of being the number one defenders against them.
For sure.
It's kind of backwards and upside down.
Yep.
That's what we talk about a lot. All right, moving on. We're still in this Planet Fitness section. Obviously, with weird men in the women's locker room, you'd think ladies would say, oh, we need a man to help us.
Somebody's got to clean this up.
Someone's got to protect us. But that's not the attitude because it's 2024. Look at The View, this clip from The View where they're talking about how straight men are useless.
Okay, so there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question. Do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women, most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, love it. And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men.
Okay.
Did she just admit she was going to kill herself if a gay man didn't talk her off the ledge?
You know how they are.
Yeah.
They're good hostage negotiators.
They get manic. They get catty.
So you have all these ladies who feel empowered and we don't need men. Men are useless. But they're saying that in the safe society that was built by strong men.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're saying it at the end of like the good times.
Yeah, the top of the hill, the crest. Like we're a little bit on the downslope, but they're like, who needs men? Right before the barbarians come storming the gates. Yeah.
Exactly, because we're in good times. And we're at the end of our good times and they're getting worse and they're going to be bad times soon because of weak men. But ladies, we don't need men because, what do I need them for? Well, for safety and stuff. And safety's not a problem because strong men built the society you currently live in. But we're not going to be calling up the gay guys when you get your home invaded by some Venezuelan gang members.
Oh my God, I just need to talk about it. And then Manuel said, get on the fucking ground.
Yeah, Manuel, put down the hair twisters. I need you to defend me against these Haitian cannibals.
I need to accessorize for my court appearance because I have to testify against the Venezuelan. Also, the original video that this is based on is like a street interview where they're just asking random girls, like people who are out at night. So, it's not that serious, but The View obviously takes it there. And the funny part is the guys all said, yeah, we need women. Of course we do. Like, we're normal. We're regular. So the fact that all the women are kind of like yes queening and saying, no, we don't need men, it shows who the PSYOP is kind of working on.
Yeah.
Men are like, no, we're still rational. We need women. Women can be annoying sometimes, but we obviously need them.
Yeah.
And women are like, no, we don't. And then like the oil change comes. And they can't even do that, some of them.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, the bad times we might be heading into are going to have some women realize how good it is to have good men around.
Yeah.
There was a George Orwell quote that kind of stuck out to me, and it applies to right now. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command.
Yeah.
And that's so it's like there's a hairy fat guy in the women's bathroom, and it's like, that's normal.
That's a girl.
Everything's fine. That's a girl.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
That's like a hard one to get over. What's the next going to be?
Yeah. And speaking of the ladies of The View, the chatty Cathys, the gossipies with the gays, all that kind of stuff that they love and daytime TV watching leftist women love. There was a Democrat strategist, James Carville, who's like a longtime Democrat. He's been in the game forever. I think he was even in the movie Old School, as the... whatever, like asking a debate question. But he said too many preachy females are dominating the culture of the Democratic Party. And guys, if I could scroll through the tweet replies of screeching females screeching in reaction to this, kind of tells you all you need to know. And that's what The View is up to here. So
yeah. And I don't want to get into 19th Amendment, whatever.
Discourse.
But, once we let everyone vote, then the voting became really emotional.
Yeah.
And it was all like, oh, these people at the border, they're just starving, and there's a woman with a baby in the barbed wire.
He's crying. Shred the Constitution.
It got pretty emotional quick. And then a lot of the men are twinks now, which we're going to get to later, and that they vote emotionally too, homosexuals. It's a whole problem.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And the Leftist Women Homosexual Alliance is strong. They love it. Yeah. And they're getting more because the chemicals.
And exactly.
So
they can't reproduce.
They're gaining power. Yeah.
And their number one enemy is like straight white men, straight guys, normal people. All right, speaking of weak men leading us into bad times, there was a climate change expert who was brought in front of Congress for a hearing. Is that correct?
Yeah. I believe so.
And here's Kennedy just kind of cooking them up.
What is carbon dioxide?
I went to high school, but that's carbon dioxide is a gas.
Okay.
I'm not a professional to talk about carbon dioxide so much, but
Well, you want us to abolish it, right?
no, there's always going to be carbon dioxide.
Right. So what is it you want us to do? Let me back up, because I want to, I mean, you're here as an expert. Tell me more about what carbon dioxide is.
I'm here as an expert cross-country skier who sees the changes in my winters and the landscape that I live in Alaska. And so carbon dioxide is what I see it as is, it's a gas that exists in our atmosphere. And
What, is it the major part of our atmosphere? Or?
it's a huge part of our atmosphere, yes.
It's actually a very small part of our atmosphere.
Well, okay. But, yeah, I don't know. What are you asking specifically?
Cooked them.
Yeah. I mean,
here's an expert. He's going to tell us why we need to upend society and get rid of carbon dioxide. Doesn't even know anything. He's like a high school skier.
yeah, he's a climate alarmist testifying before Congress because he's goes around Alaska a lot. And he's seen like 10 winters maybe.
Yeah, he's like, what, 20 years old?
That's what I'm saying.
And he's a skier. He's probably been skiing for 10 years. Did you notice a big change from when you were 10 to now in Alaska?
Is it a fluke or is it the sign of an absolute overpopulated, over carbon dioxide mania? And if so, you should be going to China. Testify before China.
Exactly.
Because they're still dumping. They're burning coal.
Yeah, as they should.
But yeah.
So this is a useful idiot. They just bring him up and he gets blown out, kind of humiliated. And that's kind of, it was like the people that I used to see on the Man on the Street videos, like my Man on the Street Fleccas series.
Yeah.
That's who it was. It was just people who were mad and they know that climate change is happening, but then they don't know anything else about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I read some things. I read some literature. It was all with a very specific intended goal at the end of that literature.
Scroll through an article.
And now here I am. I'm on the other side of it. It worked.
So these are the types of weak men that are going to bring in a bad society. There's also ways to identify weak men or evil men. There's a new disease out. It's called, it's a rare disorder, causes men to see people's faces as demonic. Yeah. I have that.
The condition that causes faces to appear distorted. My first thought was I woke up in a demon world, the patient said.
So, I mean, if you're like me and a show watcher, you probably see this way already.
Yeah.
That's how I see Rabbi Shmuley.
I know. Well, his face just looks like that, I think. So
he actually is. That's how I see George Soros.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a You Live, or what's the movie where the glasses come on and you start seeing the goblins, the real goblins?
I'm all out of gum. I'm all out of chewing gum.
Is that a movie?
I think he's here to I'm here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Okay, I haven't seen it in a while. Caught me.
But yeah, this is interesting to me. I think the veil's kind of being lifted, and then maybe people are going to see like merged realms. So you see like the demon operating the person, and then not everyone can see it, but it's like you just are there first before we transition into 5D.
All right. Someone's been watching Interstellar mixed with Da Vinci Code.
Oh, man.
He watched Interstellar and Da Vinci Code back to back, and he thinks he cracked it now.
Yeah. And then whenever like a coincidence happens, it's me from the future trying to tell me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Know?
This demon face stuff, no, but that...
I found one where my favorite restaurant was also the name of a shitcoin I was in.
Oh.
And it was like, that's future me trying to tell me to buy it.
What was that? What was the name?
Solana.
Oh.
Sol.
Gotcha.
So the restaurant was Sol, the coin Solana, not the shitcoin, but the shitcoins within the Solana network.
All right. Yeah, we're straying away from the demon face update where apparently you see them to talk about your shit coins.
Well, I think everyone sees them. It's just you don't see them you don't see it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our migrant section. We have some interesting migrant updates. First things first, we're going to start with like the Uber Eats one.
Yeah.
So migrants illegals are using Uber Eats apps of people who are legal and have it, and then are renting out the app so they can deliver food for people?
Yeah, basically. And this was inspired by, there was a guy who went viral on Twitter talking about how his wife almost got kidnapped by an Uber driver. That guy was not illegal, or we don't know. It doesn't matter. But then it kind of sparked this, like, who's really out there doing Ubers? Who's delivering your food? And then this was in the bottom of a New York Post article that was talking about how all these migrants were getting on the apps, which you need a federal tax ID number, basically, and all you got to do is take a little quiz. There's no in-person interview to deliver the slop to the pig hole. But so basically,
I'm a former schlop enjoyer.
Exactly. But basically, there was a New York Post article that kind of talked about how near the migrant shelters, a lot of people were strapping on those food backpacks and hopping on bikes or getting into cars. And so they were like, well, wait, what's happening here? And here's one example. It says Edward Kalina, 32, moved to New York from Venezuela a month and a half ago, said he delivers food for Uber Eats using an American's account. He pays the account holder, who landed a job in a restaurant and wasn't using it, $150 every 15 days for access. I only deliver for Uber, Kalina said. And so, I mean, I don't know. Security issue, dilemma. Here's a picture of some guy on a little Vespa ready. He just got here and he's ready to start slinging
He's ready
food.
to bring you your seed oil schlop.
And so it's just one of those things where, you buzz them in. There's always a safety concern. And this is in addition to actual Uber drivers who have you in a car that can take you somewhere. So it's just something to think about, something to look out for. And obviously they come here and they start doing that, like, basically skimming, this American's happy to take $150 a week for something he's not doing, but who's the liability going to land on when one of these illegal immigrants spoofing an account attacks or hurts someone,
That's a good
Uber's
point.
like, we don't have an association with this.
Yeah.
But it was obviously
That's
their
an
app.
interesting point, especially knowing that they click up little gangs. So it's like you can get access to a building. Number one, you could scout it out and go, okay, the code is this, or buzzing in is this easy.
You deliver to the same building all the time. You start to learn,
Yeah, and then you see whose doors are vacant, whose doors had a menu in the door for 5 days in a row.
Yeah. Might
Maybe
as well.
no one's home.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then on top of that, like you said, Uber's not going to be responsible when it comes down to, it's going to come down to the account holder.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also another thing, this is less safety oriented, but just kind of like race to the bottom, crabs in a bucket almost type shit, is the illegals take all the cheap orders. They take like a $2 order to deliver 15 items like 3 miles away, and they're like, I got to take it. They don't really know how to work the app, so it kind of is driving prices down a little bit for everyone else. So it's a two-prong effect, but you may never know who's ordering your food or who's delivering it, rather.
Well, that Venezuelan guy we covered last episode who said his daughter is his meal ticket in America, and then last episode said you can seize houses if they're uninhabited and you can be a squatter. He's now buying a gun.
Y bueno, muchachos, nos decidimos por esta. Nos vamos a comprar esta para la seguridad de nosotros, la seguridad de mi familia. Capichi.
For the safety of his family.
Sencillamente me gustó, tiene buen
He always says
peso.
Capichi. Feels good.
Tiene para la
Trigger.
ráfaga. Tiene para el
Dry
tiro,
firing in the
tiene
store.
buen peso. Así, pum.
Finger all over the trigger. All right, that's enough. No
Yeah.
gun safety.
No gun safety, no discipline. But I don't know. Is he actually buying it? Or I'm starting to think this guy is just becoming like a wrestling heel for Americans, and he's trying to show him doing the worst possible things that a newcomer.
He could be a
newcomer.
troll. Yeah, he could be.
But
something to keep an eye on. And the Obama-appointed judge said that illegals can carry guns.
yeah, I know.
So it's kind of like a thing. And you know how I am, where I'm always kind of like trying to extrapolate to the conspiracy. And like one of my theories is like they'll let crime get so bad so the public calls out for stricter enforcement, but they'll also be calling out for like a police state, a highly surveilled police state, when you had the rules in the books to lock the people up in the first place. What if the illegal gun crime gets so bad that you have the populace calling out to get rid of the Second Amendment?
What?
Because then everyone's go, well, that's their right. They're allowed to have it. And then everyone's go, well, we need to get rid of the Second Amendment. We can't just give guns to anybody.
I thought you were going to have a bigger, deeper conspiracy at the end there. They're just like, they're trying to take away the Second Amendment. Yeah, they already are.
Yeah, well, that's how you can do it.
They're actively saying it.
Yeah.
So
So these guys are
You
up to-
disappointed me there. You let me down a little bit.
but not every time.
Not every time. Not every time.
Just sometimes I let you down.
All right. Best episode ever chances. Tick, tick, tick.
No,
Just went down.
Don't say that. Don't say that. So obviously these illegals are going to be doing home invasions and intruding a lot. Florida is safe.
Yeah.
Look what the Florida sheriff had to say about people who break into people's houses.
So the person, we don't know which homeowner shot at him. I guess they think that they did something wrong, which they did not. If somebody's breaking in your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County. We prefer that you do, actually.
I like that.
Thank you.
And then by the end, he offers them a class so they can shoot the intruder better and kill them because the guy didn't die.
Yeah, and so now we have to keep him in jail and pay him, pay for his meals and housing. So
isn't that way better than any other state?
I know, it feels good.
It's like, hey, make sure you kill him. That way we don't have to put him in jail.
Leave the body on the floor. Make sure. Now, you can't walk over and execute him, but you do want to aim for the heart.
Oh, that's so good. All right, moving on. In Colorado, someone put up signs that were kind of like satire signs.
Almost an art piece, yeah.
Like art piece, kind of like Sabo used to do back in LA, where you put up signs and it's about illegal immigration and illegals being prostitutes. And look what's going on and how the news handled it.
Signs that were posted here right outside the state capitol in downtown Denver, Colorado. One of them shows what looks like migrants running across the street. There's another sign here that uses the word hookers and $20. These signs posted early Friday morning. We are talking to Colorado State Patrol about whether this is some sort of vandalism and if any kind of charges will be filed.
Yeah, that would be crossing the line.
Yeah. Putting signs up, that's really dangerous for the safety of the community, right?
It's vandalism.
Yeah.
Putting signs up talking about the thousands of illegal immigrants that are in Colorado and the millions of dollars of taxpayer money that's going to support their lives.
Not to mention the public funds that have already been cut for other things in Denver to make room for the illegals in the budget.
Yep. And then the uptick in crimes, and they're doing things like prostitution. So you're degrading your society to maintain these people.
Yeah, so satirizing that is an absolute crime against humanity.
We have to look into charges.
I know. We might need to. A hate crime is what keeps popping up to my head. And then here's an article about it from KDVR. What are described as hate speech signs were removed from the state capitol grounds Friday morning. The signs were bolted, blah, blah, blah. I think it definitely went overboard. Even having that kind of hate in your heart is a step too far, Together Denver organizer Amy Beck said.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, what about the 50 million illegals here? Was that anything? Was that a step? Was that too much? Did anybody vote for that? Or just the signs that bothered you?
The signs are the problem. Amy, why don't you head over to Planet Fitness and make sure the trans people are accosting the ladies there, please?
Amy, get in there and start vouching for these men. Because you're that Amy right there is the reason America is on the downtrend of that good times. Good times, but not for long.
Yep, exactly. Well, we are moving out of our migrant section into our last page of housekeeping.
Hold on. One last thing I just want to say. We always talk about how a white guy will put on some high heels and the documentary crew shows up. They'll get two cameras, two different angles. The signs, some satirical signs that don't necessarily mesh with the current worldview from the left. And all of a sudden the news crew, charges, a sheriff's press conference. Who knows what else will pop up. Yeah. So it's the same thing on the other foot.
Maybe that's the way to bring attention to it, is we need signs.
Yeah.
We need to up our sign game.
I would love to see more of these.
Yeah, me too. All right, moving on to our last page of housekeeping. New music from Daran just dropped. Daran is a person with very entertaining talents, a PET of mine, and he just dropped a new song.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse is attached. Head is mad is back, got the bulls that back to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your paws. I've been in the wedding.
Hey.
That was good.
It's good.
That was good. All right.
We're actually in talks with Daran for a shout out.
Okay.
He wants $250, which I think is fair.
Hey, Daran, you have all the leverage, Daran.
Yeah, Daran, if you say Fleccas Talks the podcast, you can basically charge me whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right. I have really important news. This might be the most important sector of the whole episode.
Okay, sector. Interesting choice.
Time Traveler.
All right.
Just posted about some things that are coming in the next month, in April of 2024. And I want to just kind of get it on the record so you guys know what's coming.
All right, April 2nd, a 9.8 magnitude earthquake known as Big John occurs on the San Andreas fault line. They're very specific. It lasts for over 45 minutes straight, never letting up, and causes San Francisco to be in ruins. Okay. A 750-foot high tsunami slams the California coastline only hours after Big John. Okay, wow.
That's not good.
Millions lose their homes, and San Francisco is uninhabitable for over 5 years. All right. April 15th, though, the cure for all cancers is finally discovered in a new experiment by SpaceX. The experiment is known as light speed, as they found a way to move cells at the speed of light. It destroys the cancer cells. All right. April 26th, human bones / remains are discovered on Mars by one of NASA's rovers, Perseverance. Okay. This proves that humans were originally from Mars, and we are the real asteroid that caused the dinosaur extinction. Okay. These dates will prove once and for all that I am a real time traveler. Please be cautious of what's to come.
So that's why I like to get this out there, because some of the other time travelers I follow, they'll be like, oh, something big's coming soon.
Yeah.
Or 2024 is going to be
Buckle up.
Yeah. It's going to be a crazy year.
They keep it vague so you can't actually verify their time traveler.
April 2nd, April 15th, April 20, whatever.
No.
Cure for cancer.
I know. And it's coming up. He's got a week.
He's got a week, and we're going to figure it out. Is he real or is he not? And if he's real, we have a direct line in.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of know what's coming after that. Maybe some Bitcoin prices.
Okay, smart. Yeah.
I'm going to really try and milk this guy, but it's very compelling stuff. I mean, you read it yourself.
Yeah, I've read it out loud as the video played on my screen, so therefore it got read.
Oh, man. All right, speaking of time traveling.
Okay.
And speaking of weak men ruining society,
okay,
let's travel back in time to the late 80s and 90s. And I want to ask you guys if you remember this toy set, the Rambo Kids Toy Kit.
Yeah.
Look at this. I think I had this.
Yeah, the knife, the gun.
A knife, a black gun that has no orange
safety tip.
It's just a real looking gun.
Hell yeah.
A knife, a compass that probably kind of works, and then a hand grenade.
Yeah.
And a walkie-talkie.
Hell yeah.
So once like this stopped,
probably cost $3 too.
It's so good,
so cheap.
Once they stopped doing this, everyone got kind of twinkified.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Now we have to have a cringe of the week.
Absolutely.
All right,
we wouldn't have had it. Yeah, if this toy set was still on the shelves, I don't know what I'd be doing. An accountant?
I'd probably be digging ditches.
The dickin'. Whoa.
That's a dicking.
Whoa. Yeah, you'd probably be a pack mule. You'd probably be Uber Eatsing, and then some illegal. You'd probably be illegal Uber Eats arbitrage. That's what you'd be up to.
I don't think that's true.
All
right. Trump had his bond that he had to pay, right?
Yep.
$475 million is now $175, or $450 is now $175.
You're in the right ballpark.
And
yes.
He's paying cash.
Yeah. So it got knocked down a little bit. Good for him. He's paying cash. He hit him with the Randy Moss straight cash homie line, which was a banger. And, I guess a little justice prevailed. I still think the whole thing has no victim.
Yeah.
All the banks got paid back. Nothing happened. Letitia James is like trying to take his house or something. And his house is actually a building.
And then they got him in trouble and because he overvalued Mar-a-Lago, and Mar-a-Lago is only worth $18 million.
According to
some
some
And then they say, well, why don't you just sell Mar-a-Lago for hundreds of million to pay the bond? So I was like, doesn't that prove that it's not worth $18 million?
Yeah. So their shot to bankrupt Trump before the election to make sure he doesn't have any cash to run failed. And he will persevere.
Yep, exactly.
And he's going to, dude, if Trump wins the election, he's going to say, I'm pardoning myself for every single thing every day and going forward.
And everyone
forever.
who knows me. Anyone who's in a photo with me.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right, last piece of housekeeping. Christ is king.
That's what they're saying on Twitter.
That's what they're saying, and that's what I'm saying in real life. But that sentence is said to be anti-Semitic now because Ben Shapiro is spiraling following the Candace Owens firing.
Yeah, I think a few people are on tilt. And if you find yourself arguing about Christ is king, if you're Jewish versus Christians on Twitter, you've already kind of lost.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good and productive. And it's one of those like, you open Twitter, what are we arguing about again on the right?
Yeah.
Oh,
saying Christ is king is bad.
Or it's some sort of dog whistle or something.
Yeah. Now is not the time to be a Shabbos Goy. Christ is king. It's Easter. We're not going to argue whether Christ is king or not with Jews.
Yeah. We're arguing semantics with Jewish people.
About Jesus.
Yeah. Pass.
Or we're going to argue and then maybe we'll figure out who's correct and who's not.
Exactly. That's the thing. You guys have your views, we have ours. Like, let's just be two ships passing in the night and don't try to tell us what to do, right?
Exactly. Christ is king. That is the end of housekeeping.
Christ is king. I have to say it as well. I haven't said it yet.
Very nice. Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord. Jesus Christ is Lord.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben Shapiro.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Moving on.
I don't know what to do. I'm not going to argue on Twitter about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Now's the time to say it proud because it's going to get worse. All right, cringe of the week. We have a very packed cringe. Birth control and crop tops.
Yeah, what do you want to start with?
Crop tops. So men are embracing the crop tops. The article says men are embracing the fashion trend worn by
women for years. How did it get to this point? It shows this guy's cut, this guy's cut over here in the Everlast one, but then this guy's doing the arms up twink model face.
Because some people think like, oh, this is similar to the 80s or like in Rocky when they used to wear crop tops.
Yep.
But the guy's showing off his hips and going like this.
Yeah, that's a different level of twinkification for the crop tops, right?
That's some twink shit. And I think back in the 80s too, the crop top shirt was a shirt that you wore under your shoulder pads.
Exactly. It was like very specific to a sport or...
I played football or I just got out of practice or I'm about to go to practice or I'm heading home from practice. And you wear a crop top shirt or you're working out in the crop top shirt that you wear under your shoulder pads.
And you were shredded.
And you're shredded.
You were absolutely shredded. Only the biggest guys did that. So it was kind of a point of pride, I would guess. But it's not the same. You can make that argument, but it's not the same. And then, do you want to go to this?
Yeah, we can move on, but I really want to make one more point. Our straight guys are now prison gays.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's not gay, but they get to prison, they actually will be someone's girlfriend and become gay.
I'll do a little bit. I mean, I'm here for 5 years.
Yeah, and then I don't really have a choice. This guy's way bigger than me. Yeah. So our straight guys are now prison gays. Our prison gays are normal gays, and our gays are trans. Everyone's slid over, right? Yep. And our chads are just normal guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So straight guys are now prison gays, and our prison gays are full-blown gays. I want to just make that.
You got that on the
point.
record. Yeah,
I got that on there.
Yeah.
Everyone slid over.
And then so what's going on with women, right? Do women like this? Who's incentivizing the twinks to wear the crop tops? The women, obviously, right? It might work for some of them, some of the young ones. Mm-hmm. And so we just wanted to read this post about a young woman that kind of ends with a thing that we've been harping on the podcast for a long time, which is birth control makes women crazy. She posts on this subreddit, she says, I suddenly hate everything about my boyfriend of 4 years. I'm torn on what to do. Hi guys, this is going to hurt me to type, but I could really use some advice. My boyfriend and I have been together since our freshman year of high school. We're now freshmen in college. We go to different schools, but they're not too far apart, so we visit each other every weekend or so. I'll just get right into it. I think I may genuinely hate him, and it's so fucked up because he's the sweetest, most helpful, most generous, just perfect boyfriend. He's never been anything but good to me these last 4 years, but lately, I've found myself disliking more and more things about him. The last time we hung out, this past weekend, everything he did pissed me off irrationally. The way he stood, the clothes he wore, how he walked, spoke, his hobbies. I started thinking he was too thin, too short, not hairy enough, not masculine enough, just picking at every perceived flaw I didn't care about before. Yesterday, I found myself checking out other guys and desiring them when I've never even desired people like that. Looks never even mattered to me. But despite these awful feelings, the thought of leaving him breaks my heart. He's my person. It's been 4 years and we were with each other through so much. I don't understand how I can go from love to hate like this, especially when things that I hate aren't even his fault. Please help. And then the top comment or one of the comments goes, did you recently change your birth control? And she goes, these feelings started after I got on the Depo shot, actually, but it's been almost a year now.
So birth control did that.
Birth control did that, whether it was coming on or getting off or Depo shot versus
getting off the old one onto the Depo shot, maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
what a change in her birth control radically changed her thoughts, feelings, and passion about a guy who she spent 4 years of her life with dating. Yeah. Isn't that scary?
That's very scary. And that's why you can't take birth control.
And so whether or not
your brain.
Exactly. And whether you're coming off or going on, you're at risk of spending the next 4 years in some bird box blind, I don't know which side I'm on, which is actually right. Do I like the masculine guys or do I like my twink boyfriend who's pissing me off now?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I mean, there's a chance you could waste a lot of years of your life. And then, God forbid, if you get married and you're on birth control that whole time and then it takes time to have a kid, and then all of a sudden you go, I fucking hate this guy.
Wow. That's what happens a lot.
I know. And so it's like a whole wasting your youth or wasting, I don't know which one she wasted, but she wasted this guy's time. She wasted her time all because she was on some thing that blinded her a little bit.
And also all because a doctor told a 14-year-old in, freshman year of high school to take birth control, probably to help with
this will help your period.
Your period and you help your hormones. It actually doesn't. It completely depletes you nutritionally too. It messes you up. There's really no upside.
Yeah.
No one knows that you can just track your cycle and be just as safe.
Avoid pregnancy.
You don't
pretty
need to
easily.
like trick your body into thinking you're pregnant or having a million miscarriages or something.
Yeah. And so that's why the tank tops will return, guys, because a certain percentage of the population is on this shit and loves the twink guys.
And those are like the streamer types, the guys who are twinks in the tank tops. And then something bad's going to happen. And then we're going to look at the twink tank top guys and go, can you help me change this tire before the invaders
There's an attacker on the plane.
Yeah. And then they're going to go like this too. And then everyone's going to kind of have like a wake-up call where they go, wait a sec. And then the smart people who are not on birth control, who are attracted to masculine men, they'll still be attracted and still pair off with the masculine men and have good, strong families. And then the twinks and the birth control retards will get paired up and have like weak children.
One kid.
Or no kids.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in 20 years when my kids fuck you up.
Eating your lunch, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But I mean, it's the whole point is that's so scary. 4 years. You dated someone basically, and this girl's like 18, 19, freshman in college. So it's like a quarter of your life you were wrong.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Very. And then obviously with this, we have like the new twinks and all these trans people and all these weak men. What they do is make normal guys seem like they got problems. There's a new disease that me and Rat Boy have, which I didn't even realize.
I've always had it, yeah. It's called breast fetishism. As a paraphilia, breast fetishism, also known as mastofact, breast partialism, or mesophilia, is a sexual interest that focuses exclusively on the female breasts.
I didn't realize I was oppressed and part of a marginalized community.
Yeah, I'm marginalized now. They used to just call that being a red-blooded American, but apparently now it needs to be categorized by like a twink guy, maybe?
And it's interesting because you really like the big titty woodshop teacher.
Yeah,
so
I do.
you have breast fetishes.
I have it, yeah. I know, lock me up.
Yeah, lock him up. Throw away the key.
I know.
All right, let's move on to spring cleaning.
Yeah.
This lady, we're going to play it. It's a little bit of a long video, but it's worth it.
Lovely. I moved into this house 4 years ago and haven't cleaned behind the couch since. I know what you're thinking, Madison, that is absolutely disgusting, and I am right there with you. Every few months it kind of crosses my mind, but then something more important comes up, like basic things like laundry and dishes and stuff like that. But if you've been following along lately, I am single now, so I co-parent, and there's days during the week that I don't have my kids, like today. So I woke up this morning and I was like, if I do one thing today, it has to be clean under the couch. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I honestly didn't expect it to be this bad. Believe it or not, this one's gonna be even worse because this is where we usually put our drinks up against here and here, and they've spilled a couple times, so here we go. This is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever posted on the internet though, but I love to be vulnerable and show real life. And if I can just make one person feel better about themselves or their state of their house, then I've succeeded. Follow for part 2.
Recently single. And then she said,
and when they had boyfriends, when she had a boyfriend, she'd go, "Hey, Mike, cheers," and then throw something over her shoulder into the couch.
You spilled behind the couch and left it and moved on. Oh, I need a new cup. Dropped mine.
Bummer.
And then she said she never got around to cleaning behind the couch or under the couch because basic things like laundry and dishes and cleaning the house. Isn't that like the third thing?
I know.
Like laundry and dishes is cleaning.
And not living in squalor didn't make the cut.
Yeah. And at the end, she says...
and you know she did this because it was starting to creep out. The new things that fell down in the back, they were starting to push out the old things towards the front. So it wasn't like, I finally did it. It was like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore.
Yeah, then if you see trash on the ground, you just kind of kick it under the couch.
She was kicking it back in for a while.
That's what I do. And then at the end, she said that she was really vulnerable when she made this, but she hopes that she can help people feel better about their living situations.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be the goal?
Yeah.
Like, imagine looking at
you
her
just
house.
humiliated yourself.
Yeah. Imagine looking at that lady's under couch and going, mine's kind of like that too. Not so bad.
Or going, mine's not like that. Whew, I'm better than her.
I don't
Thank
need to clean
God.
up for another month.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, spring cleaning is more like, you know, you do the deep clean, you take the dust off the bookshelf that you don't really do every day. Spring cleaning is like, the garage, the boxes in the garage, I really got to organize that and put it on the shelves, you know. It's all the long-term shit. It's not trash piling up under your couch. That's not spring cleaning. That's called teetering on hoarding, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what I noticed too, obviously on Instagram, we see with like the fat park hoppers. What are they called?
Yeah, plus size park hoppers. Yeah,
they blocked me, but plus size park hoppers. You see a lot of ladies trying to get validation online for their bad decisions.
Yeah.
So instead of like,
girl, me too.
Yeah.
You know, they want to hear that.
Oh, my house is messy. Oh yeah, clean it up. You did great. Blah blah blah. But it makes people feel better about their bad situations when they kind of should feel bad about their bad situations to improve them.
Yeah.
So if you watch plus size park hoppers and go, oh, these fat fucks can fit on a ride. I'm only 290. I can fit on a ride too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same thing. It's the disgust factor, right? You have to be like disgusted by things, both in your own house, in your own life, and online, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be like, oh, that's not right. That didn't make me feel good. And I think that this kind of content is sort of an answer to like the perfect supermodel on Instagram, right? That everybody likes. Oh, no, it's this perfect airbrush supermodel picture. That's awesome on the beach on the most expensive vacation, right? And then it's like, hey guys, I'm a fat mom. Like I'm ready to clean up my slop pile. So there's like a balance, but then it's like you should feel shame. You should be embarrassed. Like that's not for online almost.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the ecosystem that's been developing. Hey, are you 300 and you want to go to Disney? Come on here. Hey, you got shit piling up under your couch? Come on, I got you. Yeah. But there's two of us.
It's normal.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it. Don't have shame because then you might improve because you're disgusted. Don't do that.
Don't need to improve.
Join the community of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. All right, let's go to the Walmart scene. This is a guy who goes viral for yelling in Walmart and pouring milk on his own head.
Quit! You can't quit! You can't quit! You can't quit! Even if you're depressed right now, you can't quit! Even if you're going through addiction, you can't quit! Even if you're at a point in your life where you don't know what to do right now, you still can't quit! No matter what they gotta say!
You think he cleans up after?
Does that look like the type of guy to go, all right, the bit's over. Where's the mop?
Thanks, guys. Cut.
Yeah.
Let me clean this up. It's right off camera. I'm prepared. I'm a good content creator.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either. This is just antisocial behavior driven by social media.
Of course.
By likes. And we've said this about the streamers too. The problem with a guy like this is you go viral and you build an audience and you kind of get addicted to the dopamine, the likes and the clicks.
The feedback loop.
But your audience is supporting and following you because you're doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep going, you have to keep doing bad stuff. And then if you get addicted to the dopamine and the clicks too hard, the best thing for you would be to separate from your audience to stop you from doing this, which means give up your livelihood, give up like the thing that drives you, give up your 300K account or whatever he has.
Yeah.
So you get into this like bad loop where you either have to keep doing antisocial, horrible things that are cringe and like borderline illegal, or you have to grow out of it and then leave it all behind when your number one motivation for getting involved was to gain a following and an audience.
Yeah.
So it's like a horrible catch-22 when you build your audience based on like things in a bad foundation, like a non-godly foundation.
Yeah, it's a monkey paw scenario. It's like, I want 3,000 followers. Go pour milk on your head in Walmart and start screaming, bitch.
Yeah, I want to lose 100 pounds. The monkey paw moves, but then you like amputate your leg.
Yeah, exactly. And then this also leads me to say, I think we're going to talk about this guy a little bit more in Urban Decay, but I want to wait before we reveal what we're going to say. But this type of guy, right? He's doing it multiple times, you said? You've seen this multiple takes?
Yeah, that's what he does.
So what does Walmart kick someone out for at the end? Like, how do you get banned from Walmart? Or maybe he's going to different ones. He hits a tri-state area and he goes, all right, I'll hit this one today. And so they don't communicate. But this leads me to say, if you ever meet someone who's banned from Walmart, that's worse than prison time.
Yeah.
I think that's more antisocial and more bad than like going to jail and being like, yeah, I paid my debt to society. If you get banned from Walmart, you're a different tier menace.
They could just take the Walmart ban list, give it to the cops, cross-reference.
It might as well just be a prison list.
And you could probably find the next 50 guys you need to arrest.
I agree.
Well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Urban Decay. It's going to get a little worse. It actually gets worse fast.
Yeah, and that was a short cringe. What happened?
That was a short cringe. You know, we had to make room for the time travel.
Admit it.
I admit it. All right, our first clip of Urban Decay, domestic cannibalism.
Yeah.
We made it, guys.
Caught on camera. This was in Wasco, California. And it was after a train accident where someone got brutally disfigured and like lost a leg. You can see it's a Latino type eating a severed leg. And he's manic.
Well, he's got it. He's taking it home with him.
Yeah, and he was arrested for, like, I think removing evidence from a crime scene, obviously. As we said at the beginning of Housekeeping, this was the first opportunistic cannibalism that I've personally ever seen.
Yeah, but white people, though.
That's your bit.
Oh, white people. Oh, colonizers. White
Yeah.
people are colonizers. Well, if this is who we're colonizing,
I think that was fair play then.
yeah, I think we got his country. We should take whatever he's got.
I know. We should get him locked somewhere. We
But
not only
yeah.
colonize, we need to oppress him more.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, we need these guys. We need this guy to pick vegetables, though. Yeah. You know, do you? This guy?
I don't think so. I wouldn't trust him anywhere.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm glad we got that on the record. First case of domestic cannibalism on social media.
Yeah.
Because there was that famous killer who ate people.
Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, there's been cannibals. People are cannibals all the
Cannibal,
time.
like they're-
And white people too. We're not just we're just doing a bit kind of.
But this could be third world shit.
Of course it is. And
you know, because when you see a leg on the ground, you might think, wow, something happened. Where's the rest of the body? Is someone in trouble and needs help?
Yeah.
You don't really go, I probably shouldn't, but I kind of want to take a bite.
Yeah.
You know?
I was on a train that killed someone one time.
Did you feel it?
I was on a commuter train. No, I didn't feel it. We slowed down and then they came over the PA and made an announcement that like the recovery team was coming out. We were going to be delayed for like an hour. So I was like an hour late to work that day.
Did they tell you not to look out the window?
No, they didn't. But there was some woman who was like across the aisle from me going like, oh, like crying and then like trying to make eye contact. Like, isn't this so weird? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm watching an episode of something. Like, I was like, this guy just ruined my day. But
yeah. Wow. All right, let's move on.
All right. I didn't try to eat the guy though.
Good. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We have two people that were looking to sucker punch in these next two clips. First is the mall security fight.
Don't touch me. Dude, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Let's play that again at the beginning because watch this. It's very important to see the hand. She says, don't touch me, but watch the extent of the touch from the security guard.
Don't touch me. Dude, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. All right. And that's on camera. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And that's in the name of Jesus, our devil, in the name of Allah, Buddha, all that shit. He's not going to touch me. I want my child.
So the lady in the church outfit.
Borderline church outfit, yeah.
Yeah.
You might assume she was a nice lady if you didn't see the tape.
Or hear her going, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. Yeah. Obviously should have been his first warning. He just like barely grazed her hand.
It was a block. It was a block.
She was going like this and pointing, and he went like this, and as soon as he touched her, bam. She was looking to sucker punch today.
Yeah, she was. And after he touched her with that little palm block thing, she thought it was justified to swing as hard as she could.
She was happy it's on camera.
On the security guard. This isn't like some Karen who didn't mind their business. This is a security approaching you for obviously some sort of reason, some sort of misbehavior, antisocial behavior happening at the mall. And so what's your response to that security guard? Wait for him to give you a chance to sucker punch him, right?
Bro, hop into it.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a certain percentage of the population out there. We showed the takeover last week, the old white guy who was trying to break up a takeover that was happening outside of his house, basically. And some guy just goes, now's my chance. And he crow hops into it. Boom, sucker punches an old white guy. And now we're going to show you a bouncer, which kind of is leading me to believe there's certain people who are just looking for their opportunity to sucker punch someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goofy white kid doing some goofy shit. And he's drunk, obviously. Probably just got denied.
He was doing a bit.
And the bouncer tried to get his teeth, knock all his teeth out, right?
Yeah, and the kid was doing a bit. He's probably drunk.
Of course.
But the bouncer, I'm assuming, watched Roadhouse this weekend.
Yeah, this isn't Roadhouse, bro. You aren't Patrick Swayze. You're a 40-year-old man who's working at a bouncer trying to knock out a white kid who's clearly too inebriated.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, so this isn't Roadhouse. Pain does hurt. The cops do come. and you're not Swayze, brother.
And because you're a security guard, it's like, oh, I'm a cop, kind of.
No, you're not. The police do come.
You're just a guy like everyone else out there.
Yeah.
We watched Roadhouse this weekend.
Yeah, it was an insane movie.
It was weird.
It was like all these random people were in it, like Post Malone and Conor McGregor and all these weird, like hyper realistic but sped up action scenes.
It was like Gumby, kind of.
Yeah, it made me feel weird after. I go, what did I just watch? Was that a mix of CGI and reality? And
you know, Gumby's like a rubber guy who kind of slinks around.
Yeah.
It was like that.
I do like Gyllenhaal, though.
I like Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal does a good job.
Yeah, he does.
He teams up with Michael Pena sometimes.
Oh, love Pena.
We love Pena.
Yeah, whenever Pena's in it, you know it's going to be at least okay.
Yeah.
But never great, and he doesn't really lead well. He's a lead
That's true.
guy.
That's
If
true.
he's the lead, I don't want to watch Michael Pena as the lead. I will, but it's not my favorite.
He's a character actor.
We've been watching White Lotus.
Yeah.
Season 1 and 2. You know,
nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens. Just a bunch of kind of different people on vacation, and they interact, and then maybe someone dies. But I heard, oh, White Lotus, it's so crazy. Oh, White Lotus is so iconic. Oh, that music. Oh, White Lotus, it's the show of the year. And I think it's going to be like some murder mystery, some like crazy espionage.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like a murder mystery.
Just people on a high-end vacation who like do pills.
Yeah, nothing ever happens.
Not that great.
But we're still watching it.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's not get too out of Urban Decay here.
All right, you're right.
But yeah, some people are looking to sucker punch you, and we've shown you enough evidence that as soon as like, oh, the block comes, or as soon as the white kid does a bit after being denied entry to a bar, it's not your cue to sucker punch someone, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's go to the Fair Dodger section.
Yeah, this is why we always encourage broken windows policing.
Yep.
This man picked the wrong subway entrance to try to beat the fare. Plainclothes officers scooped him right up, quickly realizing there was a bench warrant for his arrest related to a robbery in Queens.
Come on, man!
So his attempt to save $2.90 led him right back to jail.
Every encounter matters, though.
Exactly.
You get the point. The guy wanted to save $2.90. He's doing antisocial behavior on the subway, and turns out that same antisocial aspect of his life manifests itself in other ways, including a robbery.
Exactly. If you are willing to jump the thing to not pay $2 to go on the subway, you're probably up to some other bad shit.
You're probably willing to pickpocket an old lady's purse. You're probably willing, and I'm not saying all. Sometimes you just forget your card. Oh, no, I don't have my money. I need to fare jump. And then they go, all right, what's your name? Okay, no warrants out for your arrest.
Just go.
Move along. But yeah, and so this kind of tells me, the thing I was shocked about, this guy has a warrant out for a robbery. And it's like, robbery? That's usually pretty bad.
That's a real crime.
Nobody's looking for him. We're not talking about child support missing payments or like overpaid or unpaid parking tickets that have really racked up since 2004 or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a guy who was a robber and he's dodging the fares and they caught him. And so, I mean, we found it was a good example of why it's important to police the little things.
Yeah.
And antisocial behavior manifests itself. You have to call it out or at least be there to stop it, because if the cops themselves aren't going out and being like, okay, who's on the warrant list today? Michael Jefferson, we got to go. Last known address this. If the cops aren't doing that, then they have to do things like this.
Yeah, this is like stop and frisk, but better.
Yeah, because
you're actually getting someone and you already have them for a crime, and then you can justify looking them up and finding out what else they have. Stop and frisk is kind of like,
unconstitutional,
hey, you,
borderline.
What's your name and what's in your pockets? It's
Yeah.
a little sketchy.
It's unconstitutional in some ways.
But if you get them for breaking the law already and then you get them for other stuff, that's kind of way better.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to
So the little things are important, right, guys? Like, and if someone's ignoring one of the little things, then it might be a glaring red sign of what's under their couch. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. She should be arrested for that.
Is she spilling shit under her couch? Oh, and the other point I wanted to make, the guy who pours this milk and cereal on himself at Walmart that we showed earlier, we need to check for warrants.
He's got a few.
That kind of antisocial shit does not need to go unchecked, right?
Yeah, he's probably not even paying for that milk and cereal he does. He just takes it, does it, and runs out with his boys.
We may not know until the police are there to actually catch him in the act.
All right, let's go to the basketball fight at the girls' basketball game.
Yeah, and we showed a father getting involved on the last episode with the basketball where he charged the dad who was trying to break up the fight, and now this is the female version of it. Little loose ball.
Jenny, come on.
That's a crazy reaction. That reaction was a little unwarranted.
And that's the household she comes from.
Yeah, so that's the mom with another baby, and then another looked like a teenager with another baby. So two women rush the floor after a fight breaks off, caused by the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And they both bring their toddlers or babies to the fight with them.
And at the end, that toddler in the middle of the court gets left there.
Yeah.
And the whole thing that started this was a loose ball.
It wasn't even a foul.
It wasn't a cheap shot. It wasn't a foul. The ref didn't call a foul. It wasn't a fighting thing. It wasn't any aggressive thing. It was just she got frustrated that the ball got stolen from her.
Because she was overwhelmed because they double teamed and they closed on the ball.
And she was also playing too aggressive too, like with her elbow swings and how she was playing. And then she's completely lost control. And then the moms come out, and then the hood instinct, I guess, outweighs the motherly instinct where you protect the babies.
Exactly. That's, I think, the important thing is you sometimes have these weighing beliefs, right? And it's like maternal instinct. Usually when you have a baby and a fight's breaking off and it could spill over to you, you have to go the other direction. You run the other way. These women, their hood instinct
went straight to it.
Overcame the maternal instinct.
That's that baby's first memory.
I know. There it is.
Fight.
And now that baby's going to fight. That's the pipeline. And all of a sudden, the baby's in Roadhouse.
And then exactly. And then the move, obviously, is to, or for me at least, is to not associate with people like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be around people who are willing to fight, who are a little too hood.
And I'm not even worried about the willing to fight. Like, well, obviously that's over the line for me. But then the bringing the baby to the fight, it goes way over the line, right? So it's like, okay, you went way over the line at a youth basketball game? Goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm not ever inviting you anywhere or talking to you or associating with you at all.
Exactly. Which takes me to our next clip. There's a guy I follow on Instagram, Tony Reed.
Okay.
And
Big Reed?
Big Reed. He's a black guy who lives in the suburbs, and he's always comparing like the hood to the nice suburbs. And this was a funny video he did the other day.
I'm up here with the right folks. Ain't nobody speeding past me in a fucking stolen Dodge. Ain't nobody out here begging on the corner. Ain't no little badass kids playing a drum set talking about support our football team or baseball team. It's just open land in suburban Philadelphia. It's beautiful.
Isn't that good?
I love that guy.
In a stolen Dodge.
Very specific instances and anecdotes that this guy has, which tells me he has a lot of experience.
Yeah, and that's like the thing too. It's not about race. It's just about like quality of life and standards. And everyone who wants a good life and a good quality of life is going to have standards that apply to everybody regardless of race. And once you start saying, well,
that's racist.
Or that's racist, or we can let some standards go so black people from certain demographics can feel better, then you kind of lose the quality of life. That's the whole point.
And that's happening on the macro scale with the current invasion of America as well. And the guinea pigs will be cooked on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
Unless we collectively step up.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Our plane disruptor clip, that is going to be in bonus land.
Oh, okay, wow.
That was supposed to be main episode, but someone had to fill housekeeping with stupid schizo stuff.
And someone forced Rat Boy to read fucking stupid predictions of the Big John earthquake. And show Darshan's song.
So if you guys want to see that, make sure you join Bonus Land. FleccasTalks.com is the website. 30-minute Bonus Land after every episode. We do over 4 hours of exclusive content to members every single month. You support us. The show wouldn't exist without members. So if you've been thinking about joining, now is the time. We have a lot of great stuff to get to today. Make sure you support the show, support us, keep the lights on. Help us keep it 100.
Yep.
And we're moving on to Uplifting Gold.
We're also going to talk about a Rob tweet in there.
Oh, we got some Rob shit to get to in Bonus Land.
Yep.
All right, first clip of Uplifting Gold. The fake fight happy birthday teacher.
Yeah, this is classic. Teacher comes in. There's a fight in the back of the room. Nope. Turns out it's a celebration of the teacher.
Wow.
They surprise her, and there's copywritten music, so
we can't really play the music, but isn't that nice?
She's happy they got her flowers.
Happy birthday. And then the real best part is like that day of class is really chill.
Yeah, she doesn't check the homework assignment after that.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, thank you guys so much." She rolls out the TV cart.
I used to do shit like that in my classes.
Waste the time.
Waste as much time as possible. I think I may have told the story in bonus.
Mrs. O'Neill, tell us about your divorce. Just get her really yapping
Literally
about it.
stuff like that. Like there was one time, like in the news, like a high school girl got attacked or something. And then I asked the teacher, hey, with everything going on, you think it'd be all right if XYZ kid who does karate can teach kind of some karate moves? And he did like 20 minutes of like teaching basic karate. And everyone was like kind of watching, and it's better than being in English class.
Yeah.
And then we just wasted half the class's time.
Smart.
And then I was allowed senior year, I had like the first 5 minutes in my English class to kind of just address the class however I wanted.
Wow.
It was just me who had that. Pretty good. And I used to tell stories, and I had pets back then too.
Of course.
So. All right, let's go to the wall climbing guy. This is just a feat of strength. It's good to show these sometimes. Oh, that ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's some dynamic shit.
It's pretty good. If you guys do that and shout the podcast out, I'll send you a t-shirt.
Okay. But if you cancel a Planet Fitness that costs like $18 a month and then screenshot that, then you'll give them a whole year of bonus line. You need to take that back now.
You
need to take that
to
back.
have had a Planet Fitness membership. Because if you just sign up and then cancel, you're probably giving them money.
I know.
Or you're giving them like the first month or something, or the fees.
I
So
know.
like I'll be looking, and if you send me a Planet Fitness membership that you just signed up for and then canceled, you're sending me a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to your house and
Okay.
I'm going through your drawers.
All right.
Let's go to the Indian motorcycle. This is uplifting.
And this is not the brand Indian motorcycle. This is Indian men on a motorcycle, on a Honda. Double nubbed arms. And they trust him. The able-bodied guys.
All right. That's enough. That's uplifting.
Any commentary there? The able-bodied guys trust him, and he's the leader. Even though they both have arms, they could be the leader.
Yeah, there's 3 guys on a motorcycle, and that's who you pick to drive?
There's 3 guys, 4 functioning arms.
And you pick the guy
And the guy with 0 of them is the driver. So, I don't know. That's uplifting, I guess.
Yeah.
Perseverance.
Yeah, that's just weird that they would let him drive and risk their lives just to make him feel good.
I don't know.
Who's gonna drive? Any of us could. And it's like, yeah. We have the right metal.
Could be any of us.
Yeah, could be any of us. I'll do it. No, you. It's your bike. Okay, yeah. Let's all hop on. That's scary. The gun to the head song, we like to show people that are musically talented and people with entertaining talents.
My brother got a dealer after me and a gun to my head, so I wrote this song.
I won't let this end on. I thought that you were my friend. I believed everything you said. Now I know you're just a
Well, at least he's up to something.
Find the silver lining. You put it in Uplifting Gold, not me.
People are passionate about music.
Yep.
And that's good to work on your skills.
There you go. Attaboy. And he's keeping an era alive. A long bygone era. Hawthorne Heights. Ohio is for lovers type shit. And he's not doing it well. He's not doing it well, but he is doing it. Which song?
But my lips and cut my eyes.
So cut my wrists and black my eyes.
That's good white guy shit.
I can't fall asleep tonight or die. Yeah, of course that's good white guy shit. That's a certain sect of white guys.
I never really fucked with those white guys.
I did that. I used to have a playlist that was like I called it the I Hate My Dad playlist.
Yeah.
Because it's like all guys who fucking hate my dad.
Yeah. You don't get it, Dad. It's a place on Ocean Avenue.
Yeah, Ocean Avenue a little less so. But yeah, it was like Cute Without the E from some of those. That was an era. That was an era of my childhood. Or
Hello
my youth,
there.
I didn't listen to that.
Angel from my nightmare.
We're getting too crazy.
Speaking of music, we have some street music to get to.
Yeah, some good shit. We can't make fun of this guy. This guy's trying.
This is Uplifting Gold.
He's Down syndrome.
There's no making fun of anyone.
All right. Because you're getting
Uplift-
close.
No, this is Uplifting Gold.
Okay.
This is the music section of Uplifting Gold.
He's off limits. You wouldn't make fun of him in front of Shane Gillis.
Oh, there's nothing to even make fun of.
Okay.
It's just good to see a young and entrepreneur type of guy making money.
All right. Keep it moving.
Okay, I'm not making fun of it. I don't even know what to make fun of. So let's just go to the next clip.
All right, the Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan, more music. This is a music Uplifting Gold. He comes off. There's a nice girl there.
For you.
Gives her the guitar.
And he invites her backstage.
Give this to you back there, okay?
Thank you.
Isn't that nice?
That's very nice.
Gives her a hug. Thank you, Zach Bryan. Show watcher, Zach Bryan.
Yeah, he watches the show.
He watches till the end, too. Zach, you made it to the show.
Nice job, Zach. I know we promised to keep it secret, but we know you're watching the episodes all the time, so good on you for giving that girl a guitar.
That was very nice and all uplifting. What a nice episode. It was one of my favorites, just like we said. Happy to do it. Middle of top third.
Okay.
So it's an up there episode. Feels good about it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Make sure you join us at fleccastalks.com for the Bonus Land episode that's out right now. If you're watching to this point and you're not a member of Bonus Land, you have to stop.
Yeah.
You can't keep going to the end because you're getting too much content out of us without actually supporting. So you have to stop. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you in Bonus Land. And if not enough people sign up, there's not going to be an episode on Friday.
Wow.
So I'm threatening. See you in Bonus Land.
I'm up here with the right folks. It's beautiful.